Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is your host with the most, White Boy 7th Street, and welcome to a PlayStation 3 Team Deathmatch Black Ops 1 on one of the best maps of all time, Jungle. I think why this map is good because kill streaks go off, and this building in particular is a perfect example why, and something that Call of Duty is lacking, and that's broken buildings with no cover. What's happened to Call of Duty all of a sudden, where all these fucking buildings have roofs and I can't shoot through them? Anyways, I want to apologize for something I said in the heat of the moment during my high roller wager match return. I know I have a lot of fans from Black Ops 1 who love when I do high roller wager matches, and it was fun streaming and I, just getting back, wagering COD points. And I said something in the heat of the moment about an Xbox One controller being inferior to the PlayStation 4 controller. And that's just a silly thing to say. To each their own. I just prefer the PlayStation controller a little bit better because I played 28 million more times on my PlayStation controller than I did at Xbox. So I just want to apologize for that, but I just know what it's like to suck dick for COD points, all right? And I'm never going back to that. I'm never getting on my knees again. And I get passionate during those wager matches. And I want to update you guys on a very controversial video that I made called Big Mistake. And I was talking about Call of Duty 4 and the screenshot I saw of the map Crossfire of a tank in a very critical location of the map. Now, I understand, and I didn't mention this, but there is a single player mission with the tank, and you escort the tank through the map Crossfire. Basically, they just they do this in a lot of Call of Duties. They make a multiplayer map that's from the single player campaign, and it's pretty cool. And this commando right here is pretty awesome. It's like all redded out. I feel like I just beat someone's skull in with the butt of this gun. I like the customization in Black Ops 1, and there's so much more customization in Black Ops 3, with supply drop attachments. And is it as cool as this commando? What is it about the commando? Maybe it's because it's like a classic gun that's in real life, and it's, I guess some of the guns in Black Ops 3 are in real life, right? But something about that commando just looks cool. And honestly, I switched to this G11 in gold, and it doesn't look realistic. The G11 isn't a gun that's highly used, right? Because there's some really specialized ammo that it uses, and it's so expensive to make. There's a double kill with the C4. I don't know. I think the classic guns and things that are in history and that were real at one time are just so much cooler, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm just nostalgic about Black Ops 1 over Black Ops 3. And honestly, I don't play as much Black Ops 3 as I do Black Ops 1, so I'm going to obviously have a bias towards this game. But let's talk about the Call of Duty 4 video that I made. I didn't mention the fact that there is that single player campaign mission, and honestly, I saw an article on Charlie Intel and it was all about multiplayer, and I just briefly looked into it, but I think people ignored the fact that they do change textures in Call of Duties that were once on PlayStation 3 to Call of Duties that are on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And there's a perfect example of the most recent Call of Duty. You see they replace like a huge beefy tank in the PlayStation and PlayStation 4 and next generation systems with a silly white pedo van in the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions. So they do change the textures, and I just thought it was a big deal if they are changing these textures that, man, that it's not like too far from the original game, because I don't know, I'm nostalgic as fuck about Call of Duty 4, and I do have a passion for Call of Duty, and I think it's because it changed my life. And I'm gonna make a video on that explaining it all. But the dolphin dive, can we put dolphin diving into supply drops? Like, instead of boost jumping, can I what if you could dolphin dive like Superman, but you can also double jump? So it's a double jump dolphin dive. Oh my god, that's $1 million idea. Someone write that down for Treyarch. Speaking of dolphin diving, and nostalgia, I want to make a Dolphin Dive video to celebrate the launch of Black Ops 1, the first Dolphin Dive in Call of Duty history. I want to do a Dolphin Dive. I just don't know what to do, how to make it as epic as it deserves to be for a tribute to one of the greatest Call of Duty games and video games of all time, Black Ops 1. I want to do a Dolphin Dive, so please let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas for that, or I should just be a good YouTuber and think of my own idea. And I did actually buy a bunch of props for a Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare type of skit, and maybe further Battlefield 1 content, but I want to say this with the final thoughts of this video. I probably was wrong about Call of Duty 4 replacing the car with a tank, and it was in fact the single player screenshot. But if in fact the rumors are true and it is a multiplayer screenshot and they changed it back to the car, I was solely responsible as the leader of the Call of Duty political revolution for changing and altering Call of Duty 4 and in fact making COD great again. And the video was correct, and all of you motherfuckers are fucking idiots, and how dare you criticize me!